Hello, guys. Good morning.
So any problems overnight with the new travel ban that was put into place? Brad, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you now.
All right, good. Any problems overnight with the new travel ban put in place?
We've seen scattered, demonstrations and protests, even some immigration lawyers who showed up to airports in case people needed a hand. But this is very different from a few months ago, right? There is not some guy in an interrogation room wondering if he's going to be able to get into the country because there was advance notice, because there was a time and a rollout and people at the airports knew what was going on. Now the real drama, of course, is taking place at visa offices overseas where people are trying to figure out, if I'm trying to visit my son-in-law, am I good to go? If I'm trying to visit my grandson, is that okay? But that's where the drama is happening. So overnight, relatively little drama, at least at the airports themselves.
They also came out with this list of how close you can be to somebody and how close you can't be to somebody. And it's almost impossible, right? Somebody's mother-in-law might be closer than somebody's grandmother and vice versa. So this sounds like this is a recipe for disaster going forward.
Well, especially remember that the three conservative justices who said they would actually go farther with this, the reason they gave for that was because there were going to be so many lawsuits, was their reasoning, that if you arbitrarily decide here's who has a bona fide connection to the United States and here's who doesn't, it's going to get very confusing. And we're already seeing that. You're allowed to visit your stepdaughter. You're allowed to visit your half-brother. You're allowed to visit your father-in-law, but a grandparent cannot visit their grandchild. An aunt cannot visit a nephew. Those are the sorts of distinctions that have been made. Because remember, while the Supreme Court was the one who decided on that bona fide relationship, it's the State Department, it's the Trump administration that actually gets to interpret that, and that's sort of where they've come down.
Well, and so some bureaucrat somewhere decides all of this. Court cases and court lawsuits have already started filing, right?
Yeah, that's right. The Attorney General of Hawaii, and of course that's the same Attorney General who filed one of the original court challenges to the travel ban, has now filed a challenge, basically because of that, saying it is unclear right now. We are challenging the interpretation of the Supreme Court ruling here, and so now we're trying to figure out, could conceivably a district judge and then a circuit judge rule that again this ban has to be placed on hold. Or would these people just sort of have standing to sort of sue their way in later?
Sounds like it's going to be a total disaster, but we'll have to wait and see. Brad Melke, ABC News correspondent, thanks for checking.